Hello, everyone. It's me, Madam Pamita, along with my wonderful friend and amazing witch, the Love Witch.
Hi.
Amazing Witch, the Love Witch. Um, I'm trying to think of
Hello.
something graceful to say, and then I get repetitive, and then I start editing in my head. You said witch twice in one sentence. What are you doing? I'm in writer's mode.
Hi.
That's what it is. Don't be repetitive in your writing. I'm editing in my head. What we're doing today is called Tarot for Kindness. Tarot for Kindness is our weekly fundraiser where we do tarot readings, live stream tarot readings on YouTube, where we are here right now. And we do these live streamed readings for you guys. You make a donation, $10 per card. And that could be a one card reading for $10, two card reading for 20, three card reading for 30, and so on. And we do a reading for you. Where that money goes is to Subotin Harbor, our friends in Kyiv with a grassroots organization that are buying groceries for seniors in Ukraine, many of whom are disabled or displaced. They've lost their homes. Their villages were bombed and destroyed by Russians. They had to move and they don't have the support system of the village anymore that they had. This is such a cataclysmic, horrible situation. So I am encouraging all of you to do some very good, healthy rebellion. Our stupid ass government is doing stupid ass things like pulling out aid for Ukrainians, and so we can rebel. These wonderful. I almost feel like you know those little I don't know, little old ladies. I am an old lady, so little old ladies that would do these little things to just rebel against oppressive systems. We got an oppressive system. We've got a really oppressive system, and it's getting worse day by day. But we can really perform good, solid, rebellious acts that actually bring a, a miracle to someone else. If you follow our friend Yulia Subotina, who is the one who is the coordinator for Subotin Harbor, she and a small team of people get the groceries and deliver them. She posts pictures of these seniors, and many times their stories and what they have to say, and many times it's simply they are like starving and praying for a miracle, and then the miracle arrives in this grocery delivery. That's how it sounds dramatic, and like maybe like but it's actually what it is. These people have pensions that do not cover their expenses. They have medicines and have to, yeah, they need medicine. Many of them are disabled, need medicine. They can't go out and work, and they're in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. Some are bedridden, and so they're victims. They are absolute victims. So this is the way you can provide and alleviate that suffering by providing these groceries. They cannot buy the groceries without your donations. So your donations are absolutely essential. If you'd like to make a donation, it's so easy to do. You can either go down here on the super chat, which looks like a little dollar sign here on YouTube, and make your donation there. You can make your donation on PayPal, which is that QR code, or on Venmo. And those links are all in the chat at the top, pinned to the top of the chat, I'm guessing, because I know how
Mhm.
efficient you are. So you can make those donations and then you can help these beautiful seniors. It's just something really special. I'm just going to do like a really quick before we get started here today. I'm going to like show, I'm just going to show like what Yulia does. So um, let's see, hold on. There she is. Um, I'm going to share this screen really quick. Hold on here to show you. If you want to follow Yulia, there's a link that you can do that. We'll put those links up in a little bit. But here's like Yulia's page on Facebook. And I'm going to scroll down so you can see these are the seniors. Each day she talks about how many seniors she's helped. She often tells their stories and things like that. She shows the food that is delivered. Um, we see these seniors are, some of them are bedbound on crutches. This is just such an amazing gift that you can give them. So you could be providing for seniors in Ukraine today and making a huge miraculous impact on them, because they often say that this is like a miracle that they get this food delivery. So yeah, so you can be a part of that amazing miracle and rebel against our government at the same time. Win-win. That's what I say. It's a win-win when you can rebel and do something nice,
Who
right?
doesn't want to rebel against the government? Nobody I'm friends with.
What?
I said, who doesn't want to rebel against the government? Nobody I'm trying to be friends with.
Exactly, right? If you're complying with this authoritarian government, man, you're not on my wavelength, that's for sure. You know. I don't know what Kool-Aid you're drinking, what cult you're in, but I ain't in that cult, that's for sure. All right, so if you want to rebel, stick it to the government, stick it to the man, and help seniors in Ukraine, this is your opportunity. So easy to do. And not only that, not only are you helping, but you get a reading in it. So today, I'm going to be reading tarot. And what are you going to be doing, Love Witch?
I have the Citadel Fantasy Oracle deck that I'm going to be pulling from.
What?
Right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
be using Christopher Hughes Bee Tarot.
So
I'm
cool.
into it. It's springtime. I'm talking about having some beehives put into my backyard. So I'm in a bee mood today. I'm a bee girl today. Right. So yeah, so if you'd like a reading, all you have to do is make a donation. I didn't even finish the directions on what to do. Make a donation. I just talked about the donations. Make a donation on PayPal or Venmo or one of the, or the super chat down below. Once you have done that, go into the chat and let us know where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is. So we can tell by how much you donated how many cards to pull. By the way, I'm the one that counts the cards. Love Witch is all about free love. She is just throwing that oracle card in there for free. You don't have to pay for that one. So if you get a $10 reading, we'll do a 1 card reading. $20, we'll do a 2 card reading. $30, a 3 card reading, and so on. So you get a great reading. We have a lot of fun, and you're helping seniors in Ukraine. What is there not to love about this situation? Maybe that we still have a war in Ukraine and we have a terrible government, but that's not part of this. All this, we're giving all the good stuff. So Seasick Music and Jessica, thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so much, Seasick Music. All right, so let's start those readings.
Before we dive in, do you want to
Oh,
plug the sale going on with your book real quick?
what? Of course I do. Oh my gosh, you guys, The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars. Hay House is doing something so awesome. They are making the ebook $2.99 from now until the 22nd. So for 1 week, you can get the ebook of The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars, my brand new book that just came out at the end of January. You can get that ebook for $2.99. It's such a deal. What I'm encouraging people to do is get that book for $2.99. Dive in and then leave a review. You can leave a review on this is, by the way, the ebook is available on Amazon. But you can leave a review on Amazon no matter where you got it. Wherever you get that book, you can leave a review on Amazon. Follow me on Amazon, all the things. Yeah, so good. And also too, besides the ebook for $2.99, I also want to let people know that secret insider information that if you have a Spotify premium account, they just introduced a few months ago audiobooks on Spotify premium. And if you're a Spotify, and if you're Spotify premium, meaning you have a paid Spotify account, you get 15 hours of listening time every month, each and every month. My book is 7 hours long. So you could have 2 books this month, one of which would be The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars. I narrate it. It's not a robo narrator or some actor who doesn't understand magic. It's actually me narrating it. And everyone has said how soothing my voice is. So I talk nice and slow and very soothing. So, hey, if you need something to fall asleep to that is like just the perfect amount of exciting, not so exciting that you can't fall asleep, but not so boring that you're not paying attention, this is the book for you. So it's a good sleep aid too. I'm always looking. The reason I say that is because I always listen to books on tape or read audiobooks for to go to sleep. I often listen to them, and I'm always trying to find that sweet spot of a book that's kind of interesting, but not that interesting. Like nothing with a plot. Like I can't have anything with a plot because then when you come back, you're like, what? Wait, what happened? I don't know. I fell asleep, right? So I find nonfiction books that are kind of interesting topics and kind of a little bit not so dramatic or shouting or acting or anything going on like that. And my latest book has been a book about Bigfoot. I'm listening to Bigfoot to fall asleep.
If you have some cool Bigfoot dreams after that.
I know. Dreams about Bigfoot. It's amazing. I'm actually learning a lot about Bigfoot that I didn't know. So, and now, of course, it inspires me. I should make a Bigfoot tarot. Has anyone done that? Oh my gosh, there should be a Bigfoot tarot deck.
I wish I could do that. Like I can get interested in anything as I'm trying to fall asleep. Like it'll be 4:30 and I'm on Wikipedia reading about screwdrivers. Like
Oh my gosh.
anything can get me.
Well, I'm telling you, history books are great ones too. History books are really great because they're kind of interesting, but then you fall asleep, and then you don't feel bad if you fell asleep. I know so much about like Renaissance England and medieval times and all. But I find I like history books about personal people's lives and how people lived. And there's plenty of those out there. And I find those very good to fall asleep to. So books about the history of clothing. History books are great to fall asleep to. But this one is not a history book, but I think it's a good one that you could listen and relax and have it on in the background, while you're doing your work and everything. So nice way to go take it on your walk with you, and you can notice the animals around you on your walk. There's lots of things you can do. So anyway, Spotify Premium, you can get The Witch's Guide to Animal Familiars and listen to it for absolutely free. And $2.99 on Amazon for the ebook right now, just this week. So Seasick Music is going to have one card reading, then Jessica, then Leslie. Great, excellent. So Seasick Music, I Venmoed $10. Thank you so much. I have a feeling that a close friend, M, is jealous of me. Wonders if there was a toxic vibe or if I'm being over self-protective, and would be grateful for any guidance. Okay, let's see how M is feeling about Seasick Music. Alrighty. Oh. I don't get a jealous vibe. I get more of a possessive vibe, which is different than jealous, right? So 10 of Pentacles shows up. 10 of Pentacles shows this, like this Holly King, really the Holly King, and these 10 lanterns there, right? 10 beautiful lanterns with pentacles on them. We think of this as like a very ancestral vibe, or very something that is like closely bonded and long lasting. So I want to say that M isn't jealous of you, as more wanting to control or wanting to possess you, or wanting to make sure that you don't find a friend that you like more than them, right? I think there's a little, so it's possessiveness, not jealousy. If that makes sense. That's what I'm getting here. I love this card, by the way. It's gorgeous, right? The artwork. I love the artwork on this deck. So if there's a toxic vibe, it's more about wanting to maybe be more a part of your life or be more important to you, which is different than envy and jealousy straight up. It's more about control, a little more control, a little more about wanting you, or wanting to be more important to you, or wanting to be more bonded with you. So it does have a vibe that isn't quite the highest and the best for any kind of friendship or relationship, because it is a bit controlling, a bit possessive. So they may be jealous if you're spending time with other friends. I should actually amend that a little bit, because if you're spending time with other people, they're jealous of you spending time with other people. And that's where you may be picking up the jealousy vibe, that you aren't spending enough time with them. So, yeah. What did you have, Love Witch?
You're so good. I pulled a card and look at this keyword on it. Control. So this card is called the Storyteller, and then it says,
What a
Yeah,
beautiful
viewpoints and
deck.
control. Isn't that great? Yeah. So I think that there's like a really nice shiny quality about these
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
But yeah, I think it is a control issue, and because this card is called the Storyteller, I think M is like telling themselves some stories that maybe aren't necessarily true about like the things that you're doing. So I feel like a good way to remedy this is to just be a little more transparent and being kind of really forthcoming about what you're doing. If you're comfortable doing that, I think that'll kind of cure the problem. Because if there's mystery, I think M is like making things up and getting jealous over nothing. When maybe you're like not even doing something that fun. Maybe you're out there filing your taxes and they're assuming that you were at a party. So I think just being a little more forthcoming perhaps is a good way to fix this.
Yeah, I think it's really about an issue of, the issue is wanting to have control over you because I mean, I think that the underlying vibe is not a negative one. It's
Hmm.
not someone that's out to harm you. It's more like wanting more of you. But you're probably at the level of like attachment that you want with this person and they're wanting more. So they may be envious of the fun that you're having with other people and why can't I have that fun? So that's not like a straight up jealousy, it's more of a desire for more. Just different, a little bit different vibe to it. Yeah. Yeah. It's like possessiveness and ownership of you or a feeling of entitlement to you, right? That can be another thing too. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Seasick Music. Thank you. Thank you. Jessica, Leslie, and then Devon. If you'd like a reading, you can get a reading with us today. 100% of the proceeds go to feed seniors in Ukraine. You all you have to do is go to Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat, and you can see the links up above or the Super Chat button. I'm sorry, not above, down below at the top of the chat. You can see the links to make your donation, or you can donate on Super Chat, which is down below, and it's a little dollar sign. $10 per card. 100% of the proceeds go to feed seniors in Ukraine. Thank you, Fariel. Oh my gosh, Fariel, you're back. We've
You.
missed you. All right, so Jessica, then Leslie, then Devon, then Fariel, and you could be next. All right, all you have to do is make that donation. All right, Jessica. So 4 card reading. Guidance for the week, please. P.S. I love bees. Sacred beekeeping is my dream for someday. Oh my gosh, Jessica, you need to get this deck. It is such a beautiful deck. Christopher Hughes is a Welsh druid. He's amazing, wonderful friend of mine. I just had him on an interview on Instagram not that long ago. We were talking about bees and spiders. We were talking about how much we both love spiders and how we love bees as well. And so he is the creator of this deck, and the deck artwork is beautiful. All right, so let's see. Week ahead. Let's see. Oh, I love it. I love it. So here's what I'm seeing here. I want to talk about the first card, which is like 5 of Wands energy. Look at that energy. Everybody's look at the kids in the back, right? They're playing like magic with each other and casting spells and kind of doing a little back and forth, right? These kids are not working together. Now let's go to the foreground, the bees. The bees are all doing their own thing, but they are working together, right? Bees are just amazing. And if you want a delightful education about bees, go watch any documentary about bees and you will be blown away, like at how amazing they are at being a unit. Like the bees are individuals, but they work as a really, really, really beautiful choreographed unit, right? So when we see 5 of Wands energy, it often can be like internal or external chaos. Like there's something going on where there's lack of coordination. Either people are like, working against each other, like those kids in the background. But in within the 5 of Pentacles is this, or sorry, 5 of Wands, and then the 5 of Wands is the solution, of coordinating with others. So this week, it is super important for you, Jessica, to really communicate very clearly what expectations are. Don't just assume people are reading your minds. Don't assume that everybody's going to be on board. You kind of have to spell it out for people this week. You have to tell them, okay, this is what we're doing this week. All right, this is what we're working on. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to do. So it's going to require for you a little organization and a little definitely communication to make sure everybody is doing the right thing and working together rather than two people are doubling up and doing the same job and nobody's doing this job over here. That usually is like the extent of the drama of the Five of Wands, is that there's confusion and people make mistakes and people are doing the wrong thing and you have to go back. It's a very it's a very Mercury retrograde card, by the way, is Five of Wands. It's like those things like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and do that thing all over again. So really important for you this week to really keep your focus and to get everybody coordinated when in whatever capacity, whether that is at work or whether that is in the home. But let's spell it out this week in our expectations and get everybody on board for those and know what their job is and know what they're supposed to do. You have some really great work and money cards showing up for this week as well. We have the Prince of Pentacles, which is, I guess, a wasp, holding that little gold coin, that gold pentacle. Beautiful spring energy of that apple. Looks like an apple blossom or cherry blossom branch. Absolutely beautiful card. So, energy of the Prince of Pentacles is really about going forward. It's about really pushing forward to start something new, especially in terms of work and job. So there may be a new project on the horizon, but that new project is going to really do something for you, be very beneficial to you. It might be some kind of reward at the end of it, like having a raise or a bonus or something that, or even just the feather in your cap that then you can parlay when you have your performance review to say, hey, I did this thing. So there's something new coming up with work that is going to produce some really good things down the line. So that new project, that new thing that you're doing with work is going to be important. We also have the King of Pentacles. So this is a card more about the established abundance that you have. Great time for you to be thinking about gratitude for abundance, doing abundance work, and really appreciating the abundance that you have already is a really wonderful way to tap into that King of Pentacles energy. King of Pentacles can also be stepping up into leadership roles. Like that, again, really aligns with that Five of Wands and also with the Prince of Pentacles, which is to say, I'm going to take on some leadership responsibility. So that can be just being the one who is coordinating or directing things. It can be a little more formal with like some kind of promotion of some kind, but there's definitely this energy of being like in the power role of coordinating and leading everyone else. Lastly, we have Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is interesting version of this card. I kind of like it. It's like a winter market, a Christmas market, right? They're selling, looks like they're probably selling honey and candles. Yeah, they're selling honey, potions, things like that. Really sweet. Look at it's like a bee lady with a beehive hat. I kind of want that hat. I'm obsessed with it. It's pretty cool. So this card usually shows a gardener that's growing in his garden in the traditional Rider Waite. This shows a gardener, but I think that this is like this exchange, this beautiful exchange of like building the fruits of your labor, which we don't really see in the Seven of Pentacles. We see the farmer looking at his bush full of gold coins. But like what happens when you have that beautiful output from your garden? You pick everything and then you have to do something. You either eat it or you sell it or you trade it or you do whatever. So this is that opportunity for you to take something that you've created and bring it to market. What is it that you have built over time that is now ready to be brought out into the world? Doesn't mean necessarily selling it. It can be just showing it or bringing it into a place where people can see it or find it. So that could be a creative project that you worked on. It can be a sign for you to start like that process of these things that you've been doing behind the scenes to be bringing them out for people to see. Could be as simple as starting a blog, right? You're bringing your ideas out to the marketplace, right? Or you can make a product, bring that out to the marketplace. But there's something little transactional where people are seeing it and there's an exchange of some kind, whether it's exchange of money, exchange of ideas, exchange of praise. I mean, it could be as simple as posting something on your social media that you a project that you've been working on secretly, but it's like now time to bring it out into the open for people to enjoy and appreciate. Bring it to market, right? Love that. What have you got, Love Witch?
Um, I pulled this card, the Orator. So 100%, this is about communication, right, and telling people what to do. um, and how to help. I love this illuminated eye on this skull. It's like get a really clear mental image of what you want this week to look like, and then communicate to the people around you how we can achieve that. The word confidence is also highlighted here, so I think speak confidently. As long as you've thought about this in advance, then you are an authority on this. And if someone questions you, stand firm. So yeah, just speak your needs this week. The greasy wheel gets the oil, right? So be that greasy wheel, or become
Squeaky
that
wheel.
greasy wheel by being squeaky.
Yeah, the greasy wheel doesn't squeak. So
Get yours
that's
and keep
funny.
squeaking so you can get some more.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you. Um,
Oh, Jessica wants
all
to know
right.
if we have that deck in
Is
the
the bee
shop.
deck in our shop? No, I don't have it in the shop, but I should have it in the shop. I think at one time we did have it in the shop, but we sold out pretty quickly. So I don't have it right now, but we'll get it back in again. But you can get it all the places, of course. So Leslie, general reading. Thank you so much, Leslie. We're so glad to see you here. We got our regulars here today. Love to see our regulars. We'd love to see new faces too. Thank you so much for your donation. Thanks for sticking it to the man with your donation. I really feel like that's what we're doing. We're like, showing our allegiances and our, what we believe in. We can do that with these donations for sure. All right, Leslie. Mm. Oh, I love it. I love all of it. It's really cool. Okay. So the first card that I pulled for you is Ace of Jars, which is the equivalent of Ace of Cups, right? So Ace of Cups, Ace of Jars, look at that, all that honey. I'm looking at that image. Is it honey dripping off? Oh, I know what it is. I'm like, what is that? What am I looking at? This is like the harvesting of the honey. So you pull out the frames out of the beehive and they have honey in them and you use that knife to cut through. I'm like, what am I looking at here? It's the frames. So this is a deck that I've had for a little bit, but I haven't used it. I've used it a couple times. So I'm not super familiar with all the imagery. So I'm a little like I'm enjoying it just as much as you are the new imagery. All right, so Ace of Cups represents this new heart fulfillment, this new love, new heart fulfillment. So this can be like opportunities for love. Opportunities for love, of course, could be romantic love, but it can also be other kinds of love coming into your life. It could be an amazing friend. It could be a new pet in your life. It can be a new baby in your life. It can be all kinds of things. So when we see Ace of Cups, I think people get hung up on the concept of romantic love, but I think very much more expansively about the love that is expressed in the cups cards. And the ace means new love coming into your life. It could be, it's like it is the heart fulfillment that we're looking at, the love that fills your heart. And this can be all kinds of love, loving a teacher, loving a best friend, loving a amazing kid who is not your kid. I mean, it's just that expansive love that you can express. So I would look to you, look at the abundance of this card. There's all of this honey dripping off those frames. And I really think of this as like, that abundance of, the flow of love is like, love is not a non-renewable resource. If you look at the Ace of Cups in the traditional deck, and you kind of get that energy with this too, it's like there's always more. There's always more. So I would say to you, Leslie, like, oh, you have a new grandson, a month old, and you have to see him in person, maybe soon. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's it. That's it. This beautiful new love in your life is like your heart is going to be so filled, and it's like the lovely thing about love is that there's always more to give. It's not a resource that we have to hoard. It's not something that we have to um I don't know, dole it out in little bits. We can be generous with our love. We can be generous with our hearts because there's always more. Oh, Leslie, you two are going to fall in love with one another. He is going to love you and adore you as much as you adore him. It's like a love fest is about to take place. I just love it. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. I love that so much. So that's a big thing on your in your general reading for sure. The second card is the star card. Star card energy. So beautiful, this gorgeous energy of she's pouring honey into the water. My gosh, honey and water into the water, it looks like. So beautiful. I love the images on these cards. So beautiful. And I love just the energy of bees is so magical. So star card energy is a card that reminds us the power of quietude and the power of stillness. So it could be, taking a break from really taking a break from like work. And we have such an environment that is a barrage of information at all times, right? It's constantly advertising and looking at things and playing with our phones and television. And, it's just like a constant. Those things aren't bad. I'm not saying that those things are bad, but we also have it has created a lack of stillness, a lack of mindfulness and being present in the moment. And I think of that star card as being that stillness and that presence in the moment. Star card energy, this is really interesting, getting a little insight here. Star card energy I often see as divine connection. And when the star card will show up in a relationship, I see it as like divine connections between people, like that there's somebody in your soul group being people that you've had in your lives throughout lifetimes, right? They have shown up before in your lifetime. I have a feeling you're going to find you and your grandson are soulmates, that you have had a past life together and that you've had the soul agreement to come back together in this lifetime. And you're going to have such a special, amazing, beautiful, rich, magical relationship. It's like that soulmate connection that you have. I mean, it's interesting because when we have a soul connection with somebody in that's an adult, what it looks like is me meeting Buchanan for the first time. I mean, seeing Buchanan across the room and going, I need to be friends with her. The first time I saw you, I was like, I want to be friends with her. And you were like, I want to be friends with you because we had a past life together, right? We recognized each other. We weren't strangers, right? So we knew we were going to be friends, right? We knew there was something there. I mean, and when I say it, what do you say? Are you in disagreement with me?
No.
Yeah.
No, I felt exactly the same way. Except for I felt that way before I got there because I've been
Yeah.
stalking you online. again. And I was like, I know her.
Yeah, so it's like
And
when
I
you
walked in
meet.
that room saying, she needs to see me. I'm very visible right now. She must see me.
I totally saw you. But this is when you meet somebody who's an adult, you can have that experience and go like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've known you forever. And they're like, I feel like known you forever, which is exactly what happened with us. But when, with a baby, you cannot, that baby is not going to say that to you. You're going to fall in love with that baby, but that baby is going to love you with a real deep love that is like so special. So maybe your grandson's parents, your kid, and your kid's partner are part of your grandson's soul group, but maybe not. Oh, honey and water, catch more bees with honey than vinegar. Maybe what it takes to get to see Jasper the grandson because his mom and I are estranged. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. You like, well, is his mom and you are related, or is the mom not related to you? I guess the mom is related, I'm guessing, right? Is this his mom? Oh, that is like stalling and stumbling. Is this trying to get all the words out? Um, is this her first child? Because that first child, when you start to realize how hard it is to raise a baby, you start to appreciate your parents in a whole new level. So if this is her first baby and she sees what you went through, then she may be more willing to also be sweeter to you as well, right? So yeah, catch more bees with honey than vinegar for sure. If you haven't sent a little present along or haven't sent a congratulations or anything like that, it's a good time to do that. A nice thing to do would be to send a letter, put some like sachet powder on it, like peace and tranquility sachet would be really good on that to like calm the energies down. Oh, it's grand number 7, but her first. Yeah. Yeah. So I think she's going to have a deeper appreciation for what goes into parenting by being a parent. But I also think, send a little gift along if you haven't done so yet. Send a little congratulations card, but put some peace and tranquility sachet on that card. I have a video up on YouTube. If you look at sachet powders, Madame Pamita, you'll see a video on how to put sachet powders on something so nobody can detect that it's there, but it still works. So I think that would be good for that situation. All right, free magical advice with purchase.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next thing is 3 of Jars, which is 3 of Cups. This is that celebration. All these lovely ladies out in the woods dancing with the bees, having a good time, having a party. I think that, this is a very positive card for you having that ability to celebrate with your daughter and to celebrate this new baby. But I also think there's other celebrations to be had as well. Getting together with good friends, having special time with special loved ones in your life, and really enjoying that company can also be so good for you this week. Really take the time, set aside some time to spend some wonderful time with people who love you, because it can be really painful when you're shut out of a relationship that you want. But that relationship will for sure find a way, right? It's going to find a way because you and that baby are meant to be together. So you guys are going to find a way. I know there is going to be that. And Queen of Pentacles energy. Oh, Queen of Pentacles is generosity, all the epitome of generosity. So I would say to you, buy that gift, right? Buy that gift and just send it with unconditional love. And a card and all the good wishes. And that may smooth things over a little bit. They don't have to respond or reply, or it isn't putting them on spot, making a phone call or anything like that. It's just easing that way, opening the path, for that relationship to happen. So what did you get, Love Witch?
I drew this card, The Botanist. And look at the words that are on it: legacy and family. Or legacy and parenthood. Sorry, even more specific.
Yeah.
So botanist, flowers. I think maybe send some flowers. Maybe send some like white roses, right? To purify and remind her of the loving bonds between you. But thinking about that word legacy, I think a lot about how like ideally if we have children their life will be an improvement on what our life was, right? And I think about like if I go up the ladder with my family, I'm like, yes, my life is an improvement on my parents, and their life was an improvement on how their parents' life was. So I think something you can do even before you get the chance to meet, or before this reconciliation happens with you and your daughter, is visioning the ways you would like for this new grandchild's life to be an improvement on your life and on her life. And if there were, things you would change about how you were a parent when you were raising her, visioning her doing a better job at those things and making those changes. So yeah, I think just having a really clear image for it and maybe sending some flowers can't hurt either.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Congratulate the mom as well, you
Yeah,
know.
everybody loves flowers too, so can't
I was
hurt.
thinking like a little baby clothes or something like that, but something for her would be nice too, you know. Thank you so much, Leslie. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh, thank you. We have Devon, then Ferial, then Adrija, then Helen. If you'd like to get a reading, all you have to do is make a donation. You can see the links at the top of the chat for Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat, which is just the button down below that looks like it's a dollar sign. When you make that donation, jump onto chat. Let us know how much you donated, where you donated, and what your question is, and then we'll do reading. Devon, feeding a full granny. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. So, Devon, you are so wonderfully consistent. You know what? It's like there's marathon runners and there's sprinters. And when there's work to be done, there are people that pop in. That's fine, you know. But there's also the people that are there week after week and very, very consistent. Um, and Devon, you are for sure one of those. Leslie, you're one of those. I mean, Jessica, you're one of those. Like really, Seasick Music. I mean, all of you guys have show up. Adrija, Helen, Ferial. We haven't seen you in a while, Ferial, but we know the time difference is a toughie. But you guys are all so consistent and wonderful. So thank you. All right. I want to remind everybody that next week I will be at PaganaCon, and PaganaCon is in Minneapolis. It's a big pagan pride festival conference, wonderful conference. I'll be there. You can see me there if you're going to be there, but I will not be here next Sunday doing readings, but I will be back on the 30th. So just know next Sunday there won't be a Tarot for Kindness, and there won't be a live magic Q&A, which we hold usually before this. So if you want to get your reading, today's the day. Then you have to wait 2 weeks. All right. So let's see what Devon has. I like it. Oh, so sweet. Sweet energy. All right. So here's what I see for the week. First card is the King of Pentacles. That is you stepping up into leadership. We had this card show up earlier. This is about stepping up into your role, being, a leader in some way. So how can leadership show up for you? Is it doing something at work? Is it doing something outside of the work? Is it taking the lead on a project at home? It's kind of like I really get this vibe of the king energy is like the person who does the thing doesn't just talk about the thing, right? That's another form of leadership. So it doesn't necessarily mean leading people, though it can mean leading people. It can also mean like, I'm not going to wait around for someone else to do this. I'm going to do this. It can be doing something out in the world, starting, my gosh, that's how leaders are really born. Honestly, it's like somebody sees something that needs like true leadership, not you know what, but real leadership is like, I see something that needs to be in the world. And so I'm going to do it. I'm not going to wait for someone else to do it. So there's lots of opportunities for leadership right now. Being the change you want to see in the world. This world needs a lot of change right now. So what can you do that's counter to the things that you don't want? Is it being kind to people? Is it stepping up and showing up? Is it doubling down on being inclusive because this regime is like anti-inclusive? Is it what is it, right? So think about like those things that you can that are even small things, right? It's small things. Like today, here's an example of like a small thing that has like a huge impact. I have a professional tarot course teaching tarot readers who want to start businesses, like getting them all set up and ready to go. And we were talking about intake forms for clients. And I made recommendations on things that could be on an intake form. And one of the things is to ask people their pronouns.
Hmm.
And then, well, people were like, yeah, but what if I don't really need to know that? And I said, well, the thing is, it's not just about you needing to know the right pronouns because, you can, I mean, it's better that you know so that you don't fumble and make a mistake and then have to, correct yourself. I mean, I think that's always a good idea. But the other thing is this is that when you ask for pronouns or you use pronouns, you're telling people that their pronouns are important and safe, that they're safe. So if they don't present as their pronouns, they don't need to feel like, oh, is this person going to be a safe person for me? So it's such a small little signal, but it's such an important one. I have like on my Zoom, it says Madam Pemita, she, her. I think most people are going to jump to the conclusion that I'm she, her, that I'm not telling it so that people don't misgender me. I'm saying it because I want people to know that their gender, whatever gender they are, is important and that they're safe with me. So you get what that's about. So, like a lot of people that are the gender that they are assigned at birth, it's like, well, no one's going to mistake me for a dude, right? But that's not the point. The point is you are sharing that. So it makes like for other people to share theirs and for other people to know, right? So this is like a small thing where you're stepping up in leadership that could be so small and so simple, but has a huge impact, right? So that little thing that you can have in your intake form can be such a powerful positive thing, right? So how can you do small things that are leadership things that help other people? I know, Devon, you are such a giver and a helper and a magical fairy. It's like, how can you do, and you're so conscientious and thoughtful too. How can you do something that makes those the people in the world who are, or people in our country who are feeling unsafe, how can you make it a little safer for them? And that can be such a small little thing, but can have a huge impact. And that's important. Um, the next one is the wheel. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at
Hmm.
that garden with all the herbs and a little wheel. Oh my gosh,
I
it's
love
so
that
cute.
garden. Like,
Oh
where
my
is this? Are
gosh.
they taking new tenants?
Speaking of garden, I'm going to tell a little story after we're done, a fun story. The wheel. So the wheel is asking you to take a risk and a risk that leads to a reward, right? So the risk can be like extending yourself out. It can be doing something that puts you a little out of your comfort zone because what you want from doing that can only happen if you put yourself out of your comfort zone. So how do you take a little risk, push beyond your normal boundaries, do something that's a little, kind of a little bit risky, but in a good way, right? Like saying hello to a stranger might be risky. Asking out that cute person that you like could be risky, right? So think about those things you could do, or even asking out a friend could feel risky, right? If it's a new friend, that also feels like it's a little risky. So, how can we expand a little bit, take a little bit of a risk to reap the amazing rewards that come from taking that risk? Another thing that comes to mind with that is that am I like remembering that there's some, am I mixing up? I may be mixing up movies with other things and books and things. I don't know. Or was there a thing where somebody said yes to everything? Like,
Yeah.
oh, what
Um,
is it?
it the somebody did like a whole year of saying
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Was it the person who wrote Eat, Pray, Love,
I
or
don't
was it
know. Maybe
someone
it seems
else?
like that kind of a book, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like saying yes to things when, like, you might want to say no, right? Yes to going out, yes to doing things. To say yes, when you say yes, it
With
opens you up.
Shonda Rhimes.
Oh, it was Shonda Rhimes that did it. Ah, okay. So how
Look how
can
well
we
that worked out.
yeah, exactly, right? So, how do you bring in more yes instead of automatic going to your comfort zone of what's safe and what's normal? How do you bring out a little bit more or open up a little bit more? So that could be a really good thing for you, to take that risk to open that. Six of Jars energy. Oh my gosh. Six of Jars is little kids, like the little kid is giving the other kid honey. That's so cute. The dad is making honey. Oh my gosh, that is such a cute card. What a little cozy family energy, right? In that card. So, Six of Cups, this deck, Six of Jars, often represents those pure, loving connections that we have with friends and loved ones that are absolutely pure, so glorious and beautiful. So, like, how can we open up to friendship? How can we open up to more connection with people? um, Finding those special people and then maybe taking that risk to like say to a new friend, hey, do you want to go out for a coffee? Maybe you've never done anything with them outside of work or outside of whatever environment, but now it's like, oh my gosh, let's spend some time together, we get along so well, and you can um, invite that person for something. It's a very sweet thing to do. Lastly, we have 10 of Pentacles. You have so much family energy. Is your son in town and hanging around, or is something going on? Because there's all this family energy here. 10 of Pentacles is the ancestors, it's the extended family, it's the legacy. It's like this long connection. So it could be good to do some ancestor work this week as well. Let's connect with the loving friends and the found family, as well as the family of, by blood and all of that. It's this wonderful, cozy, connected energy that I see here for you this week. So, yeah. So, I love that. Thank you so much, Devon. What do you have? Love Witch.
I pulled this card called the Merchant. It has self-worth written right under it. So I think this is a really good week to examine the exchanges that you're having. Everything is an exchange, not just our jobs or the purchases we make, right? So remind yourself of that and make sure that like the people that you're giving your energy to are giving something equitable back, right? Like we don't want to deal with people who are only takers. That will leave your cup very empty. So just check in and make sure that everything is balanced this week. It's a good week to think like a Leo and balance this, or sorry, like a Libra and balance the scales. Also a good week to think like a Leo. Nothing wrong with that. Show yourself. Be balanced about how you go about it.
Yeah, exactly. That there's something very magical, and even the Six of Cups has this quality of exchange, right? That there's
Mhm.
that wonderful quality of like there's something really magical about exchanges, and exchanges, we can really bless them. Such a beautiful thing to do is to bless our exchanges. And I also want to say to everybody out there, thank you for being queer. That's is that a new
I'm
sign?
great. This is actually, yeah, we were cleaning out this office room that I haven't used in like a year because it's been such a mess.
Yeah.
And B had that sign. I was like, oh yeah, let's hang that up so that it feels more inclusive in here and so that people feel safer with
Yeah.
us,
I
or at
love
least the
it.
people that we want to. So exactly like you were saying with pronouns. And something else with pronouns, by having your pronouns in your bio or in your email, it also like normalizes it so that people whose gender is unclear don't feel weird or like they stand out by having theirs in their
It's a good
emails.
way to be an ally,
Yeah,
right?
and now it's a good way to be against an authoritarian government. They don't want that shit, so put them in all caps.
Exactly, exactly. I think that's really like a lovely thing. And I think it's such a small little thing, but such a huge impact. You know what I mean? These are these little things that we can do that and there's so many little things that we can do. Um, buy your products from businesses that are owned by people that are being marginalized by this government. That means that's a big group of people.
Hmm.
That is really a big group of people. People of color, queer people, LGBTQ people, women. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. This government is screwing everybody. So, like, let's instead of sending money to the enablers, let's buy things from people that are suffering under this regime.
Don't buy a
Such an
Tesla.
important thing.
Don't do it.
No. Every Tesla, you know what people are doing now? It's so dumb. People are changing the emblem on their Tesla to a different emblem so that like they're disguised as a Toyota. I'm like, oh my God.
That would work on me because I can't tell cars apart.
Neither
It's
can I
my
mean,
nightmare when
same.
Uber is like, your car is a green Toyota. I'm like, okay. But there's a
Yeah.
Tesla that is like parked across from our building, and it's taking so much restraint to not do a variety of activities to it.
I
But I'm like, oh,
know, right?
it's doing enough on its own. It's making that person look exactly like who they are.
I
So
seriously, I'm sorry, Tesla owners, but this is how I feel. So if you have a Tesla, you can probably take offense to
sell
this,
it,
but I'm
sell
just like, are
it.
you a
Donate
Nazi sympathizer? Is that what your jam is? You know, that's what I want to say to all of them. I mean, sell your Tesla,
Yeah,
people.
I
Sell your
understand. Some
freaking
of them
Tesla.
bought it before things took a turn. There's still
Yeah.
time to sell.
Yeah, exactly. Sell it and buy a new car that
I don't
isn't
know who
run
wants
by
to
a
buy it if you
Nazi,
need that
a company
somebody.
that's run by a Nazi. Thank you. I mean, I really feel that way, but I'm probably going to ruffle feathers. Listen, I've been known to ruffle a feather in my day. So,
Not any
uh,
feathers that we don't want ruffled, so it's
all
fine.
right. Thank you, Devon. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next is Ferial, then Adrija, then Helen. If you'd like to get a reading, all you have to do is make a donation on PayPal, Venmo, or Super Chat, which is the button down below that looks like a dollar sign. Once you've made that donation, then come back on here in the chat. Let us know where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is. Ferial. 5-card reading. And my question is, what do I need to know right now for my highest good? That is, oh, it's so good to see you. We missed you. My gosh, we've missed you so much. You were so in our lives and then you disappeared.
And I was thinking about Farrell the other day, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, I wonder how she's doing. So
Yeah.
now I get to
Well,
find out.
yeah, we realize you're in a big different time zone. So that's no worries. We just miss you. That's all. Not to make you feel bad or feel guilty, but we just missed you. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. All right, so here's what we got. All right, so should I go with the stuff that's just go in order. Let's just go in order. So 5 of Pentacles. So 5 of Pentacles. Look at 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles can often feel like loss and things. Here we have this couple, and there's this broken jug of honey, and honey is expensive, girl, and hard to get. And you broke that honey jar. Oh my gosh, that is not a happy moment, right? But there's a little secret message that is in this card that is also in the other, traditional Rider Waite. Yeah, that's what I say to five. That's exactly what I say to 5 of Pentacles. I mean, 5 of Pentacles. So, what we see with 5 of Pentacles is like two people that are in the snow suffering, and they're shivering in the cold. They're dressed in rags, and yet there's a light on in the church that is behind them. So there's something in whatever you are dealing with right now, Ferial, where there is a solution. That solution is also found in this open window, right? There's an opening, there's an opportunity. So whatever thing you're experiencing that is hard right now, that is causing this emotional pain or suffering or sadness, it's like, don't forget. Yes, feel your grief, feel your sadness, feel all the feelings, but don't forget to look for your opportunities too. Like there's some way out of this situation that you're in that you have to be resourceful and find. It's not even that hard. It's just a mindset shift of like, I'm going to find the open door. I'm going to find the open window. I'm going to find it. And I can't see it right in front of me right now, but I'm going to find it. And that's the first thing that I see. Second thing is the Prince of Swords. Prince of Swords, I think, is Knight of Swords. Or it could be Page of Swords. I don't know what I'm going to look it up because I want to make sure I say the right
I
thing.
think
So,
Princess is Page and Prince is Knight.
well, some decks they are, and then some decks they aren't. Like, okay, let's see. Oh yeah, wait. Yeah. Princess is Page and Prince is Knight. Okay. So Prince of Swords energy. This is self-advocacy, which goes along with that Five of Pentacles, right? Actually, it's like when I see Knight of Swords energy, Prince of Swords energy, it's like, are you going to stand up and advocate for yourself and your loved ones? It's like speaking your truth, doing what's necessary to advocate. It's advocacy. So, who do you need to advocate for? Do you need to speak up for yourself or do you need to speak up for someone else? Right. But it's like kind of, I almost want to think of in a way like being a pest, being a pest, right? Like, okay, you go to the doctor's office and they only here, I don't know where it is where you are, but like here you get 15 minutes with them if you're lucky, 10 minutes with them, right? You got to be like talking to them, asking them questions, doing the things like get the information that you need. Don't just sit there and then they're gone and then your opportunity is missed. So I think there's something here where you can be to gather your energy and be that advocate that you need to be for yourself, asking for what you need. That's what advocacy is. Yeah. Asking for what you need for him, right? What do you need for him? What do you need to ask for? You keep knocking on doors until you get it. You ask to go to their supervisor. You ask to go, it doesn't have to be confrontational, but it's like you might be facing red tape and bureaucracy that you got to get through, and you need that sword to get through that red tape. So this is the questions, the asking, the nudging, the all of that. Yes, I had to chase them to get the assistance they qualify for. Absolutely. So that advocacy is important. And like then there's the advocacy for him, but there's also the advocacy for yourself. Like, what do you need to meet his needs? Not only just what he needs, but what do you need? Seven of Cups. Oh, this is great. Okay, Seven of Cups is Seven of Jars in this deck, right? Seven of Cups. So look at that beautiful image. Love it. Those bees there. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. So Seven of Cups, if you notice, there's 7 pots of honey, 7 of jars, 7 jars of honey, and one of them is open. So this is that being bewildered by all the different choices and all the different options, but one is going to open for you. One is going to shine for you. One is going to be the one. So it can mean kind of making your way through the vines of the jungle to get there. But yeah, this is what you need to be doing right now, which is to know that there's one door that's going to open for you. You got to keep going until you get to that door, whatever that door is for your son, for you. Absolutely. There's another card. This is a card that everybody has a tough time with. The Tower card. Tower card can feel, can feel a little tough and rough. But Tower card energy is the universe clearing out what needs to go for you. There's something in all of this struggle that is like a shakeup can happen that you aren't seeing the shakeup yet, but the shakeup is coming that's going to eliminate the issues, eliminate the problems, clear away that which doesn't work to bring you to what does work. That's what I see with that 5 of Wands energy, like the coordination of the 5 of Wands. Like everybody, I almost want to feel like there's a little bit of a shakeup that then allows things to shake out so that you're coordinated with the people that are offering care and support and other things for your son. So it's requiring your advocacy. It's requiring you keeping your eye on the open door and going for that open door. And then I feel like everything that was uncoordinated comes together again. So it feels probably uncoordinated now, but it's going to come together. So yeah. Yeah, you're in the midst of it, but there's that emergence that happens where it starts to come together. So you're almost there. That's what I'll say. You're almost there. What do you have?
Cups reminds me of? It's like, yeah, you're gonna be looking all over for the answer and you're gonna find a lot of wrong answers. But it's like when you're playing one of those matching games and 2
Oh,
cards are being turned over and they're not the right ones, but you need to know where those are. So all these closed jars are very important for you to be encountering right now so that when that tower happens or when whatever happens where you need it, you know where it is. So I
Yeah.
think be paying just as much attention to the things that aren't working out as the ones that are, because it's all divine timing. The card I pulled is the Alchemist, and Farrell, I know we've had this conversation before. Like, you are working with a stacked deck. You're a witch. You have the ability to twist fate. So use the extra cards that are in your deck. You have an advantage over everybody else because other people don't have I mean, everybody has the ability to make magic, but 99% of people aren't taking that. So you're working with a stack deck and you need to remind yourself of that. And if something's not working to your advantage, transform it. Do some magic around it. It's going to be as
Hmm.
simple as that.
Hmm.
And I think even just having a clear image of it working itself out is going to be helpful. So be visioning solutions to things and imaging how things can work out and how it's going to feel once they have, and you're going to be there in no time.
Yeah.
Yes, it says all starting to come together. So
Yeah, that's great.
you're
That's
going to
what
be
we're
seeing.
seeing here, right? It's all starting to come together. And so I feel like, you're at that tail end. The tail end of this all is going to come, and then it's going to be great. So, yeah. You're just such a good mama. You're such a good mama and a strong mama and such a good advocate. So, never forget that. Like, give yourself that pat on the back to remind yourself of that. Thank you so much, Ferial. Thank you. All right, we have Adrija and then we have Helen.
So we'll be seeing her around. I'm glad to see.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad. Yay. I'm doing a honey jar spell. Hi, Adrija. I'm doing a honey jar spell, but it's not leaving much residual wax. So I'm burning 2 candles. It is about A. Do you see him coming back? If yes, when? All right, let's see. Let's take a look and see. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you, everybody, for your donation. Helen, Adrija, Ferial, Devon, Leslie, Jessica, Seasick Music. Thank you guys all for your donations. Um, After Adrija, we have Helen. And then if we don't have any more readings, we will be ending for the night. But so this is kind of almost your last call. And Helen's only a 1 card reading. So I want to give you plenty of advance warning if you'd like to have a reading tonight. Now's the time to get that payment in on Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat, and then let us know in the chat that you made the donation. All right. All right. Let's take a look and see. Okay. So here's what I'm seeing. The first card I'm seeing, you're asking, like, when is he come? Is he coming back? When is he coming back? And also, I'm seeing in the cards, that's a very simple question, but I'm seeing some more nuanced detail in this. All right. So the first card is the 7 of Pentacles. There's that shopkeeper again at the little stall selling the honey with the beehive hat. Oh my gosh, so cute, right? Um, I think of this as like exchanges, right? This is like, and it's also a little bit about, we talked before about this card about bringing whatever it is to market, right? Letting your wares be seen by everyone so that they can buy them. So for you in this situation, obviously you're not going to be bringing something to, selling something in a love relationship. Hopefully you're not selling anything. Uh, but what I would say in this situation, it means being visible. So how do you become visible to somebody who is not paying attention to you? Post things on social media, post yourself with your friends, post yourself having a good time, post interesting things. It doesn't even have to be pictures of you. It can be pictures of things that you're going to and doing and how you're living life, right? Because that can be like honey, so sweet and so attractive to somebody who is like, oh gosh, they're having fun without me. I could be doing that fun thing with them, right? Even if the other person doesn't follow you, he might not follow you on social media. He can still look at your social media if it's public, if you have a public setting, right? So I think this could be a really good starter for all of this and add a little more energy to the honey jar spell that you're doing is to like be showing your fun life on social media so that it is available for him to see. Okay. That's the first thing. Second thing, the hanged one. The hanged one is, look at that, shamanic, covered in bees. Oh my gosh, and hanging upside down. So, hanged one energy, hanged man energy often represents this idea that things are going to be still for a while. Like you're not going to see any movement. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It's just this period where things are building up to the reopening of the relationship. So, or at least the recontact, the contact again. So I do think it's a matter of a few months. I still get that energy of a few months of nothing, 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 nothing. And then all of a sudden, bam, you hear back from him. I think you can speed it up by putting a little more on social media about all the fun things that you're doing, the best, you're living your best life, etc. That can be also kind of draw someone back in. Then we have 10 of cups, 10 of jars, 10 of cups. This is a card that's the one that shows the rainbow and the happy family. So I do think that there is this reunion of some kind with you and he. So there is going to be a connection, reconnecting. The normally this card has a rainbow, which a rainbow represents the end of the rain, right? So I do see that coming back. My concern is that you are going to make a decision, or you're going to have to make a decision, right? We have the Queen of Wands and the Two of Swords, right? So Queen of Wands says this: when he comes back, and this may be why the delay is happening, you need to be in a very empowered state. You need to be the one to make the decision. Are you going to accept this person back into your life? What you want to do is to make sure that they're bringing what it is that you are wanting. If somebody is misbehaving and then they break up with you and then they come back, that same misbehavior will be there if it isn't being addressed. So what bad behavior did he have, and what does he need to genuinely and sincerely apologize for and show that he has made efforts to change that behavior? Without that, the decision is no. If somebody is whimsically breaking up with you and then comes waltzing back into your life again and doesn't recognize that their abrupt leaving that relationship had an effect on you, then that is a telling thing. And the thing that it tells you is that they are not one bit concerned about you. They are only concerned about themselves. They're not empathizing with you. They're not seeing you and your emotions and what you have gone through. So you need to make sure that that is sincerely conveyed. It's not enough to say, I want you back. That's what I'm saying, coming from him. It's not enough for him to say, I want you back. For what? To gratify you? Are you not looking at what you did and how you that was not a good thing to do, and how you need to do better? Because if they're not looking at that, then you need to decide, this isn't for me. Right? I hope you get what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying, Love Witch?
I get it. Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense, and I think Adrija will understand too.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear. Um, yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I think you're hitting the nail on the head. And I pulled this card called the Smith, like a blacksmith, right? So I think right now the universe is like hammering out the fine details, right? And it's like, yeah, he could come back tomorrow, but he's not going to be in a better position to make you happy. So give it time. There's a keyword here, overthinking. So careful about overthinking. And I think, especially when we do a spell, a big part of a spell being successful, in my opinion, is this ability to have detachment and to do your spell and let it do the work. And so if you're thinking every single day, where are my results? That's almost like canceling out your spell. So think about other stuff, right? Like when I'm looking for my keys, what do I start doing? I start doing something else. And I'm not going to find my keys while I'm looking for them. So really, I think taking the watch pot is never going to boil. So stop thinking about the pot of water that you have on the stove. Instead, start doing these other things that you really enjoy. And even if he's not following you on social media, going out, living life, having fun, and sharing about it, that energy, it's going to be transmitted. He doesn't even have to see it for it to have a magical effect.
Look at my familiar back there. I decided to put these pillows in there, and
She's
look
loving
at
it.
making biscuits all day on those velvet pillows.
I love that.
That's my Glinda. She is the queen of the witches. Um, so yeah, I think this is. Oh, what was the
Unless
last card?
I jumped ahead. What did
The
you read
last
about
card was
that?
the Two of Swords. It was Two of Swords and Ten of the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Swords were the last two. So Two of Swords is making a decision, but making a decision with logic, not emotion.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I picked five. I did five. So the first card was now I put them all back in there, but I did five. Can we rewind the tape? Now I don't remember what if everything which each of them were, but there were five.
I think she got thrown off because he did the last two
I
kind of
did the
together.
last two together as one. That's why you thought there was four, but there was the last were two. That's why I put them together because they really needed to go together because it was about you being empowered and you making the logical decision about this relationship. So it was before that one was 10 of cups and before that okay, yeah, okay. But I think that that energy is like make the decision with logic, not with emotion, right? Logic tells you if somebody did something and they're not like recognizing that what they did was harmful, then you're very vulnerable to that person doing that thing again, right? Right? Exactly. That's what it is. Like, without there being an acknowledgement that I've created harm, then I'm probably likely to create harm again. So, yeah. All right, so let's our last one reading of the day is Helen. If you'd like to get your reading in, if you'd like to get a reading tonight, we're not going to be here next week because I will be at PaganaCon. But if you'd like to get a reading tonight, now's the time, and it's going to be quick. So you got to do it now, and then post in the chat where you made the donation, what your question is, how much you donated, what your question is. Hello, Madam Pamita and Love Witch. A one card reading for the week, trying to keep it simple. Thank you. Thank you, Helen, for being here. You guys are just awesome. I love our regulars. I love you guys hanging out and watching. We're just so happy to be hanging out with you and raising these much needed funds to feed the seniors in Ukraine, right? Which is really good. Really good thing to do. That's why we need to preserve our energy so we can do good things in this world. All righty. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Look at this card. My one wish for this card is that the print were bigger at the bottom because I got old eyes and I have to squint to see these. I need my reading glasses. All right, so Queen of Swords energy. This is the queen. Look at her. She's got her hand out for the bees. She's got a sword in the other hand. Queen of Swords energy is really boundaried. Like I think it's really reflects on like us having good, healthy boundaries. Clear communication is important with Queen of Wands. It's not about, there's a kind of justice quality to the Queen of Swords where she's like got her sword. So she's strong, she's powerful, but she's also like reaching this hand out in a very loving gesture. And even in the Rider-Waite deck, she's got this hand out in this very gentle way, asking, kind of gesturing to someone, welcoming them. Hello, welcome, come, it can be like that kind of gesture. So she's, I think it's this balance between having good boundaries and being clear with people, but also being gracious with people. So that's the difference between like a kind of a more active Knight of Swords, which is like going in there and getting business done, where the Queen of Swords is like, I've got my sword, so I'm really clear and I have mental clarity about what it is that I want to accomplish. but I'm also very gracious. I'm also expressing myself in ways that will make people more amenable to what I'm asking, I have this for these boundaries that I'm setting up. So I think it's really important for you, Helen, over this next week is to really see where your boundaries are and express those boundaries to others. There's another aspect of Queen of Swords, which is air energies expression. Can be asking for what it is that you need. It can be telling people a very loving, very kind no with love and light. I always say no with love and light. Saying no with love and light is like, gosh, I'd love to do that, Love Witch, but right now is not a good time for me. But I wish you success in your project, right? That's a loving no. It's saying, I love you. I care about you. I wish you success, but I'm not the person to help you. Right. So that can be a way of doing that. So think about like the ways that you can get those really clear, defined, loving, gentle boundaries, but firm boundaries. Like you're not going to like wiffle waffle on those boundaries, but you're also going to be very gracious about it. Nope, that car is too expensive for me. That is not for me. Oh, I love that, but it's not for me, right? So not that it's that you don't want it. You can say, oh, I don't want that car, right? uh, I don't know why cars are coming into my mind, but I don't want that car. Or, oh, well, that car isn't for me. That's not for me. That's not to my taste. But I wish you well in selling your used Tesla. Maybe that's why. So anyway, yeah. So I think this is like, that opportunity this week to kind of stand firm on what you need to stand firm on, express that to others, but do it with grace and kindness. So yeah. What do you have for Helen?
I pulled this card called the Wise One, and I love this hand extended into the air because it's like, yeah, if you're wise, you know when to ask for help, and you know when to let people know what you need. You're not expecting people to read your mind unless they're mind readers, right? This card too also tells me like sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed out or struggling to make a decision, I start by reminding myself of the things that I feel really sure about. So this could be a good time to reflect on where you are feeling really certain and what like is still true. Go through and remind yourself of those things. What's interesting though, this card has the keyword order on it, and you mentioned justice. So I do think that like bringing a sense of order into your week is going to be helpful as well. What that means to you, I don't know. For me, probably organizing my room. That's been on the list for a while. So yeah, find a little bit of organization or structure this week.
Love that. Love that. Well, you guys are awesome. So awesome. We raised $240 to help feed seniors in Ukraine. That makes 6 people that we're going to be helping and feeding, giving them 2 weeks worth of groceries. That's right. I don't know how to do math. Isn't that right?
Don't
I
ask
think
me.
so. I know. Well, 200 would be 5 and 40 is a 6. So that's how I figured it out. So anyway,
Nice.
you guys did an amazing job. We're helping 6 seniors this week. We will not be here next week, but we'll be back on the 30th. I'll be at PaganaCon. If you're in Minneapolis, come by PaganaCon. It's a wonderful conference, tarot, witchcraft, all the fun things. It's very reasonably priced. I think it's like $90 for the whole weekend, and they have fun parties and all kinds of fun things. So you might want to check it out. Um, oh, by the way, I was thinking when you were talking to Adrija, you have your Friday love group love spell service group. What is it called? Friday
Yeah, the weekly Love Spell.
weekly love
And
spell.
we now have the weekly Love Spell subscription as well. So if you want me to make some magic for you each and every Friday, that's a great option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much fun with that service, and I make it like a little bit different each week. So it's always going to be a surprise.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to it's like I think that's that situation where we get so invested in our magic that we get overly overthinking about it or we worry about it or we're like, when is it? When, are we there yet? Are we there yet? All of that energy. And you want to be with the magic place to be is in this kind of sense of I'm putting it out there, I'm confident in it, and it's going to do its work and it's going to be perfect outcome and perfect timing, right?
Hmm.
You've heard me say that a million times. So having somebody else do the magic for you can often be a way to kind of not over helicopter parent your spells. Like I'm just having somebody else do the work for me, and it's all happening behind the scenes, and it's all good, right?
Yeah. And
So
if you subscribe to that, and the same is true for your new moon spell service, right before the spell, we check in and we're like, what's your intention for this month or this week? So it's a really nice way too to be reminded to be setting an intention for the week or for the new moon,
yeah,
because it's easy to lose sight of that or to get too busy or too caught up in all the other things. So yeah, nice little way to have a little reminder.
have some professional witches do your spell work for you. I do spell work. Love Witch does spell work. We also have Bee and Miss Kelly that do spell work. We have lots of witches standing by, ready to do spell work for you. So you can check that out. Don't forget, we have a new moon. Speaking of new moon, we have a new moon that is out now. I can show you it. It is so gorgeous. Oh, you can show it right there.
Yeah, there
Look
you
at you, smarty pants. Um, This is the April Taurus new moon. It's the green man of prosperity. It is a gorgeous candle. This candle is not available in our shop. It's only available, well, it is available in our shop, but only in the spell kit. You cannot buy this candle a la carte. It is an absolutely gorgeous spell with this abundant green man. It's really tapping into ancient energy of abundance and prosperity in such a gorgeous way. It's connecting with nature. Spring is happening. This is the time when spring buds start to go. So this is the time we want to really feed that energy by connecting to the abundance of nature, to our abundance of our money and prosperity and wealth, right? This is the spell to do it. So if you would like to get the spell, it is only available for 1 month and then it goes away. So it is available from now until April 14th, right? 13th, 14th, somewhere in there, and you can get that. So go check it out. You can find it by going to newmoonspells.com, or you can go on that QR code. All right, my love witch, my love witch. We will see you in 2 weeks, everyone. Have a great evening. Happy Sunday, and we will see you very soon. Thank you much for your donations. I'll be giving those to Saboten Harbor, and Yulia will be posting those thank yous tomorrow, right? We'll see those tomorrow. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.